Welcome to Bro Joe Builds, and this is the Dirty 30, or that name is already taken, the Dirty C30. It's a C30 pickup that has been sitting around for a little bit. I got in a deal with a friend. I did a transmission job for him, and he gave me the truck. It's a pretty solid truck, and I think it'd be a good project vehicle for many of you that has a vehicle that's been sitting in your yard maybe for a few years, and you know, you want to get it up and running again. Now, this truck's been sitting for a good 2 years, and it may have some issues that I'm not really that sure about. This will be the first time me turning it on in a few months. So, you know, we want to get it running in this episode and maybe go over some of the things that it may need and go through the steps and how to do this properly and do it the right way, so that at the end of the day, we'll have a decent running and a dependable truck, in my case. And for you, maybe a car. At the truck, we walk around. It's big and brown. Oh, that's a random cat that comes by, and he looks like he eats pretty good, I must say. We look around the truck. It's fairly complete. It's pretty much all there. Over on this side, looks like we might be missing a rocker panel altogether and a good chunk of the cab corner, but it's in the lower end. And if anyone that has dealt with any of these trucks know that that's pretty typical. You see here, the floor pan did seem better floor pans, but you know what, it's not that bad, and we'll patch it up. The seat, on the other hand, well, either someone farted and blew the seat up, or I don't know, there's not much of it left. And the dash pad is a little cracked, but again, that's typical. This truck is over 30 years old. Like, what can you expect, really? If we look at the bed, well, it's all there. And we have a little transmission sitting back here. This is a 727. No, I mean 906. This is a 906. But I already pulled the rubber mat. You have to take my word for it. But this bed floor is actually in really, really good shape. Rear bumpers there, not super banged up. Let's go take a peek on the other side. Side of the truck. What I can tell you about the truck is that this side is actually even better than the other side. So, again, for a 30-plus-year-old truck that's seen salt, it's all there, and all the frame rails look pretty great, actually. Even the paint is a little better on this side. As you see here, the rocker's still there. The first thing you need to do with any project that's been sitting around for a while is get it running. If it has a motor and drivetrain, that is. So in this case, it has a motor, and I know it runs. It was a crate motor, from what he told me, that he put in, you know, probably a decade and a half ago. But again, it was a runner. I hardly seen it run, but we're gonna today. Again, we're just gonna put a battery in it and just see if she fire it up. And that's the first thing that you guys should do with your projects. If it's, you know, capable of running, see if you could get it to turn on. You know, if there's an ignition issue or a fuel issue, find out, is the motor even locked? Is the motor locked up? Is it even any good? This is where you find out how far and how much money you're gonna need for your project. So again, first thing we're gonna do with this project is, again, change the battery. Simple as that. So when I got it running a while ago, I took a battery off a Chevette that I had in the backyard that we might have to do a rehab on that one as well, just to see if it turned on. This battery was already dead and was kind of bad. I put jumper cables to it. It popped off, and again, I had it running for a few seconds, but not long enough to see if I had any real issues. I just knew that it ran. Again, we're going back at least 3 months ago. So right now, we're gonna just, again, pull this battery off real quick, change the battery, and see if this will pop off. Interesting story with this truck. Back in the early 90s, this truck was used to actually tow a funny car around the Northeast that was being raced. So this truck has a little racing history that came along with it. Alright, so we got the battery in it, and now we'll see if she'll fire off. So I'll hop in and we'll see what we hear. Good news is we're running. The bad news is we have a little whine that could be either coming from the transmission pump or the power steering pump. It could be as simple as low on fluid or something else. But first step is, well, we got it running. That's the good news. You can see that's the brake light that's currently on, and if you press the brakes, well, it looks like the brake light shut off, but we might have to take a look at that. We may have well, the pedal actually wants to stay down, so we might actually have, oh, the brake light just popped up, so we might have either a line that's leaking, or maybe even a bad master cylinder. Well, that's right off the rip, two things that we see we need to repair. The battery I got from Walmart, and I spent less than 50 bucks, I believe, on it. I will see if I post a picture of the receipt right now. And so far, for 50 bucks invested, I got the truck running. But that's something simple, right? We just fix the battery. That now we need to get it going. And that would be the second step, and probably the second part.